disappointing update on Drew McIntyre's WWE future. The WWE's plans for Alexa Bliss and SmackDown. A released Star shares picture with a Wyatt Sicks member. Penta doesn't want to be the next Rey Mysterio. Big E makes a major debut outside WWE. John Cena called a snake. Logan Paul quits because of The Rock. Roman Reigns is no longer part of the WWE locker room. Let's dive right in. The WWE's plans for Alexa Bliss and SmackDown. Alexa Bliss is back in WWE, and fans are thrilled. The goddess and World Wrestling Entertainment were allegedly far apart in making a deal, and many thought she might never return. However, the 2025 Royal Rumble happened. Bliss appeared on the program and competed in the Women's Royal Rumble match. She received thunderous applause for her performance and fought well in the bout, even though she ultimately lost. Following her celebrated comeback, there were reports and rumors regarding where she would go. Some expected Bliss to land on Monday Night Raw, but the latest reports indicate she will be part of the Friday Night SmackDown brand moving forward. Now, the big question is what Bliss might do on the blue brand from here on out. Number 1, she could join the Wyatt Sicks on WWE SmackDown. The Wyatt Sicks are part of WWE Friday Night SmackDown. The news came a few weeks ago, thanks to The Miz. It was later revealed that the A-lister used his influence to move the stable away from Raw to keep him safe. While that didn't entirely turn out how The Miz wanted it to, the 5 members of the Fierce stable are on WWE SmackDown either way. This means Uncle Howdy, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Nikki Cross can unleash chaos on the brand. Now that Alexa is back, she could join the stable. Uncle Howdy was stalking her to convince Bliss to join him and Bray Wyatt before Alexa Bliss's maternity leave. Now, that stalking can be paid off by Alexa Bliss officially joining the faction. Number 2, Alexa Bliss could reunite with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has been one of the most dominant and imposing stars in WWE for years. He is a monster and a former Universal Champion. Braun has also won Money in the Bank, Tag Team Gold, and the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman have an interesting history together. They were united on the Mixed Match Challenge and had surprising chemistry. WWE later used this to imply that Braun had feelings for Bliss, even if unrequited. Notably, Braun is another name that was moved to SmackDown as part of the transfer window. Since they'll be on the show together, Team Little Big could reunite. Many groups now have men and women, so why can't they be a duo taking on members of some of those factions? Number 3, she could have a confrontation with Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is one of the most charismatic and entertaining in WWE and pro wrestling. While she is often mocked and ridiculed, the Canadian star is also quite talented in the ring when given a chance. The cocky and arrogant Green now can back up that attitude. She is the reigning Women's United States Champion. She is the first ever, and for now, only Women's US Champion in WWE history. Alexa Bliss has won many gold medals in her career, but this title will be new. Bliss could appear on SmackDown this week and have a segment with Chelsea. The goddess could make it clear that she wants Chelsea's championship. Number 4, Alexa could challenge Tiffany Stratton to a world title match at Elimination Chamber. Tiffany Stratton is an incredible WWE star. She is a world champion, and fans love her despite spending most of her career as a heel. In addition to its main roster success, the Buff Barbie has also been the NXT Women's Champion. The WWE Women's Champion has already had an interesting run with the title. She captured the gold by cashing in Money in the Bank on Nia Jax. She later successfully defended the championship against Bayley in a singles match. While Charlotte Flair could use her Royal Rumble win to challenge Tiffany, there is no guarantee Stratton will be champion come WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss could challenge Stratton to a match on SmackDown for Elimination Chamber Toronto. If she wins, Bliss could then be a co-headliner at WrestleMania. That would be incredibly impressive. A released Star shares picture with a Wyatt Sicks member. The Wyatt Sicks have not been seen on WWE television since December last year. Amid their absence, the fearsome group's Dexter Lumis was recently spotted with released star Indy Hartwell. Uncle Howdy and his stablemates last competed inside the squared circle on WWE TV on the December 9, 2024 episode of Raw, where they lost to the Final Testament. However, Dexter Lumis redeemed his group by defeating The Miz in the next episode of the Red Brand. Although the Wyatt Sicks continued to wrestle during the company's live holiday tour till December 29th, they haven't been seen on TV in 2025. Amid their absence from television, Wyatt Sicks member Dexter Lumis was recently spotted with former WWE superstar Indy Hartwell, who was released from the company in November 2024. On X or Twitter, she shared a photo with Lumis where both stars could be seen possibly training in the ring. The mentioned post could also be a callback to their on-screen pairing in NXT. Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis have a history in the Stamford-based promotion. They gained popularity in the company's black and silver brand after being paired in an on-screen romantic relationship that was loved by many. During a recent edition of the Not Some Wrestling podcast, WWE personality Sam Roberts said he wanted to see Alexa Bliss representing the Wyatt Sicks. Roberts also mentioned that Bliss could become an actual leader of the fearsome group. I kind of like the idea of Alexa Bliss being a representative of the Wyatt Sicks who's kind of always there. You know, almost like a de facto leader of the group. The idea that Alexa Bliss is a show-to-show competitor, and we know she's a representative, but you can't push her too far because if you do, the Wyatt Sicks will appear, Roberts said. It remains to be seen what the Triple H-led creative team has planned for the Wyatt Sicks' future. Penta doesn't want to be the next Rey Mysterio. A new WWE star has stated that he doesn't want to be known as the next Rey Mysterio. He insisted that he wanted to be the first Penta. The former AEW star made his debut for the company a few weeks ago on an episode of Raw, and he wrestled Chad Gable in his first bout. He recently competed in the Men's Royal Rumble match, but was unsuccessful, as the bout was won by Jey Uso. On the Red brand this past Monday night, he defeated Ludwig Kaiser. Speaking to Shaquille Majori of Shock Wrestling, Penta said he admires Rey Mysterio, and that even though they're both luchadors, he wanted to be his own person. Bro, I don't want to be the next Rey Mysterio. I want to be the first Penta El Zero Miedo, because I love Rey Mysterio, like luchador, like person, but Penta is different. My style is different. My persona is different, and for this reason, I want to be the first Penta in WWE, said Penta. The master of the 619th will undoubtedly go down as the greatest luchador of all time. Many luchadors have competed in WWE, but he has always stood out from all of them. Now that Penta is in the midst of a big push, Freddie Prinze Jr. agreed that the WWE Hall of Famer should pass the torch to him while speaking on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast. I love Rey, so it's hard to hear anyone say it's time to pass the torch, right? Because he's the greatest luchador that ever wrestled. But he's 50-something years old, and they have for sure tried with other wrestlers. They've given other wrestlers opportunities to see how it goes and see if they can be the next Mysterio. But man, they seem to believe in Penta. They really do believe in Penta, and I guess you're right. Rey should pass the torch. Man, it's weird for me to say that, he said. It'll be interesting to see whether Penta and Rey will share the ring with each other in WWE in the foreseeable future. Big E makes a major debut outside WWE. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods shockingly ditched Big E on WWE Raw a few months ago, but there is some good news for the former world champion. He has made his debut outside the sports entertainment juggernaut in a major role. It was revealed recently that Big E will voice a character in the animated series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney+. The 38-year-old WWE star praised the showrunner, Jeff Trammell, in a heartfelt social media post following the significant announcement. On the latest episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Big E can be heard voicing the Bulldozer character, a member of the 110th Street Gang on the show. While speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw about Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods' betrayal of Big E, Vince Russo said that E should have had help from another star on the roster, as the latter is not cleared for in-ring action. The veteran also believed that WWE could have done a lot more with the angle on the Red brand, instead of booking Kingston and Woods like any normal heel tag team. Everything has to come off of logic, and that would have been a logical thing. We would have had a story. New Day could have harassed his family, they could have knocked at his home and embarrassed his wife and kids. There is so much they could have done. What are they now? Now they're a heel tag team, okay? It will be interesting to see what kind of twists and turns Triple H has in store for Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E. Could E turn heel someday and reunite with his former partners? Only time will tell. John Cena called a snake. John Cena actually betrayed a star during the Royal Rumble, the latter has claimed. He's revealed what Cena did during the event and why it was a betrayal. Logan Paul vlogged his experience at the Royal Rumble on his YouTube channel, where he made an admission about John Cena. Cena was the star who threw Logan Paul out of the Royal Rumble before he was left with Jey Uso. However, the social media sensation felt this was a betrayal, saying he had looked up to the 16-time champion for his entire life. He talked about feeling betrayed by him, as he had been tossed out of the ring like trash. He added that he had also done Cena's show, driving around in a car with him for 3 hours, only for Cena to treat him like that. I feel a little bit betrayed by John Cena if I'm being honest. I've looked up to him my whole life and then he just tossed me out of the ring like I'm trash. I did his show, bro. We drove around in a car for 3 hours together, and he throws me over the rope. Logan Paul quits because of The Rock. The Rock returning at the Royal Rumble would have led to a star quitting the company. This was revealed by Logan Paul on his daily vlogs recently. Paul vlogged his experience from the Royal Rumble and showcased several behind-the-scenes moments from the show, including his thoughts on what was happening in WWE and what he would have done if The Rock had suddenly returned and demanded the number 30 spot. The Maverick said that if the final boss had returned and said that he wanted to take Paul's number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble, then he would be done then and there. He added that he would have gone to Nick Khan and let him know that he was quitting immediately. If Dwayne Johnson comes and tries to take my 30 spot straight up, I'm going straight to the boss. I'm calling Nick Khan and I'm saying, dude, I quit. The electrifying superstar, however, didn't return, and Paul made his way out in that spot, ending up with 2 huge eliminations, as he put CM Punk and AJ Styles out of the Rumble thanks to his ability to take them by surprise. Johnson may not be involved in a match this year during WrestleMania. Heading into this year, it was assumed that he would feud with Roman Reigns. However, it seems that it won't be the case, with Reigns potentially feuding with Seth Rollins and CM Punk instead. The star's absence since his appearance on the Raw debut on Netflix, where he shook hands with Cody Rhodes and put an end to their feud, has been noted. There was still some hope that he may return at the Royal Rumble, but that didn't happen either. Roman Reigns is no longer part of the WWE locker room. Roman Reigns has admitted to a heartbreaking reality for himself in WWE. He's no longer part of the locker room. Reigns had one of the best runs in history over the last 5 years, where he held the WWE title for almost 4 years. Now that he's back after having lost his title, he's had to battle for his title as the Tribal Chief and has gone after the top title only to lose his chance in the Royal Rumble. Now the star's seriously injured and may be out for the foreseeable future. However, before the Rumble, talking to No Contest Wrestling, Roman Reigns admitted a big regret he had was not being in the locker room with the rest of the stars anymore. He said that he missed having that bond with the rest of the stars, but he had to pick between being a superstar or one of the boys, and he had chosen business. He added that, with the exception of his family, he missed being among the stars and being the locker room leader to guide the different stars. I miss being in the locker room. I miss the camaraderie, that bond with the boys. But I had to grow up. It was time to pick either be a superstar or be one of the boys. I picked business. But yeah, I miss being in there, being able to guide those guys, not just the family, but the whole locker room, and be one of those leaders. Roman Reigns suffered quite an injury after he was eliminated from the Royal Rumble. He was eliminated along with Seth Rollins, and the latter, quite furious, went on to hit 2 stomps on the back of Reigns' head on the outside, including one on the steel steps. WWE announced that he was going to be out of action for the foreseeable future at this time. The next few weeks will indicate if the star will return soon before WrestleMania. It remains to be seen if the star can ever have that role in the locker room again before he ends his time in WWE. A disappointing update on Drew McIntyre's WWE future. Drew McIntyre left the WWE Royal Rumble last weekend unhappy and hasn't been seen on TV since. Now, an update on his immediate future has emerged, and it's not looking good. The Scottish Warrior entered the 30-man Royal Rumble match at number 17 and lasted nearly half an hour before being eliminated by Damian Priest. After the show, rumor has it that McIntyre was screaming and cursing backstage over someone allegedly trying to get themselves over in the match. The former World Heavyweight Champion reportedly stormed out of Lucas Oil Stadium. It was later revealed that the person in question was LA Knight, who accidentally got in Drew McIntyre's way and disrupted the timing of his elimination. The megastar was said to be performing spots that were not planned for the match. Regardless, LA Knight does not have backstage heat, but his actions have inadvertently affected Drew McIntyre's status with the Stamford-based promotion. The Scottish Warrior missed the Fallout episode of WWE Raw after Royal Rumble. It is widely speculated that he is moving to the SmackDown brand to feud with Damian Priest, a matchup described as a nothing match at WrestleMania 41. According to PW Insider Elite, McIntyre's status for SmackDown this week is currently up in the air, as sources close to him have stated, anything is possible. The two sides have been in communication, and it's not a case where the bridge is completely burnt to the ground. This comes after Sportskeeda's own doctor, Chris Featherstone, learned that McIntyre's frustrations had cooled off and things were moving forward between the two parties. Will he return to WWE TV as soon as this Friday? Only time will tell. Speaking on the Not Some Wrestling podcast, Sam Roberts said Drew McIntyre could target the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso, before the latter goes on to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania 41. What if Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre have a score to settle on the way to WrestleMania? Because we still have a long time before WrestleMania. I think we got plenty of time to tell one Jey Uso story before we really get to the meat of what the Gunther story could be, Sam Roberts said. The Yeet Master is currently considering options for his title shot at the Show of Shows. After confronting Gunther this past Monday night, he will return to SmackDown this week to come face-to-face with undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes.